Okay, we're on the second vlog in a series. I'm doing a series. It's called entitled Lot 104, where I'm taking essentially the construction of a house from start to finish, from A to Z. And this is the second vlog. This is the plumbing under slab. This is where we check the drainage and the supply piping before the slab is actually poured. So I'm gonna kind of go through what I look for, and how the whole system works. So what you're seeing now is the drainage. You know, when you poo-poo, pee-pee, boo-boo, you know, all the waste from your wash machine and dishwasher, all that comes down through here. This is your drainage. Everything's buried underground, and you'll have your slab, which is that right there. That's the lot next door. I'll zoom in on that right there. That'll be poured on top of the drainage. So we have you know, you have the stub ups here. You know, you have different areas. You might have, you know, your tub, your washing machine, your toilet. I'll take you over here, the other side here. But everything's on a slope. Everything, you know, that old saying that shit flows downhill. It pretty much does in this case. That's the big one there. That's your toilet. Probably have a sink right next to that, and that is your shower. And it comes down and it runs along this drainage line here, and it turns and goes straight down. If you can see that, goes straight out to the street. As well as drainage, we also have the supply piping, your cold and hot water. All that is up under the slab as well. And that's what you're seeing, the little real thin, real flexible lines here. Those are your supply piping. And they're different materials that are allowed, but you know, this is more of a PEX, like a plastic fiberglass type resin material that is allowed. Always check whatever city or state or jurisdiction you're in. You know, check your codes. Whatever code your city or state has adopted, they allow different materials to be used for, you know, supply and drainage piping. So I go through and check all the fittings. You know, you got an elbow here. Make sure I see the purple primer. That's one good indication that the fitting was actually glued. You know, sometimes I have to move some dirt out of the way, but you know, you wanna check the fitting. That's an elbow there. You wanna make sure that you see the primer, and you know, that's a good indication that it's been glued and it's tight. Another test that we look for is a drainage test. Well, it's required for drainage piping underground. And typically, down here in Georgia, they are allowed to use water or air. And in this case, they're using water. And what they do is they fill this whole system up with water and run it right up that stack. And they fill the whole thing up with water. If I go over and shake it, you'll probably see water falling down, but the whole system is filled with water. So I'll walk through each area of the, you know, little fitting. There's your wire right there, and check to see if I see any water spots. You know, a good indication, like I said, is a primer. You see pink around the fittings. You know, that's a good indication that it's been glued and that it's sound. But The drainage line, it must be tested. It must be pressure tested before this could actually be covered up with concrete. And like I said, down here in Georgia, they're allowed to use air or water. Typically during the winter time, when it's really cold, they use air. They pump the whole line up with air and put a gauge on it for me to come along and check. But I'll take you around the front. Just want to kind of show you something that a lot of people don't really see during the construction process, and that's that line. That's that main. It's probably a 3-inch, and I'll try to get down here. That's a 3-inch line, and it goes down. And I want to show you the actual connection, but this little area is filled with water, so I can't really, but it connects out to the city. And that's kind of how it works. This is your plumbing drainage. It's called plumbing under slab. This particular house will be on a slab. You know, you have some on a basement, some on a crawl space. This one will be on a slab. And the plumbing must be checked. It's got to be inspected. It's got to be sound. It's got to be tight. Because once the slab is poured over the piping, it's pretty much a wrap. If there ever were any issues. So that's kind of what I look for. Another thing I want to add is typically down there's a section in the 2012 RRC that requires under slab hot water piping to be insulated. Georgia chose to delete that section. They amended part of the code and chose to delete that section, so it's not required if the under slab hot water piping is less than 50 feet. So, but a lot of builders choose to insulate it anyway, which is a good thing. And here you can see this is the hot water piping, and they've insulated it. I can open it up, but they've insulated. And like I said, it's not a code requirement down here in the state of Georgia. A lot of Georgia chose to delete that section. They amended part of it. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But typically you have and I'll show you your cold water line from the street. Like I said, and this is a PEX material. You have different other materials that also allow. Just check wherever you reside. Just see, you know, what building codes that your city, state, or jurisdiction has adopted, and they'll have a list of approved materials that are allowed. But this is your incoming water. A lot of people don't see that. That's your water meter there, and that's your water line coming in from the street. And this is probably a 3/4 line here. But you know, depending on your demand, depending on the fixtures, how big your house is, and it could be an inch, could be 1.5 inches. Typically you find a 3/4 inch line, and it runs straight up. If you can see that, that's your incoming water, all underground on the slab. So that's kind of what this particular stage involves. If you guys have any comments, any questions, you know, please hit me up. You know, hit me up down below. I hope you found this informative. Like I said, this is the second vlog in the series. It's entitled Lot 104, because this is Lot 104.